All right, this is either the world's shortest or most obvious video, but I primarily teach guitar for a living, as well as play gigs. I love my FM9. I like using it when I'm doing pretty much anything with guitar. So the last month or two since I've gotten the FM9, I've had the FM9 sitting here while I teach, and then my students have been playing through my FM3, which I just recently sold. And I kind of realized, you know what, I can actually have my students play through my FM9 at the same time that I'm playing through my FM9. So I made this quick little preset. What it is basically there's an input block for input number 1. That's my path. And then there's an input path for input number 2, which has a separate amp and cabinet, as you can see here, and a little bit of reverb. And I've got it set up just for some really basic sounds. There's 7 or 8 scenes in this. And what it is basically both are guitar. You can see here, I just kind of randomly picked these models. They're both the Jam 45s right now, just because that's kind of what I'm into at the moment. The cabinet that I've got using is the Leontot LT Mix 7 that I use for everything. I'll make sure there's a link to this, but you can use any cabinet really. The second one here is a little bit more crunchy guitar. So what I'm doing is I'm using a Brit 800, and my guitar's not in tune, partially because it is like 50 degrees in here. He's freaking out, but for the sake of doing this, we'll just kind of crank through. Okay, very quickly, I am going to go through this one preset here. I teach guitar both on Zoom and also in person here. It's one of my primary forms of income. And typically, I've been playing through my FM3, and I've got an amp for students here in the room, or I've got an HX Stomp. What I realized after I sold my FM3 this week was that really I could have both of us playing through the FM9. So what I did do is I made this really quick preset the other day, and it seems to work pretty good. It's got 7 scenes on it, and basically I plug in input 1, student plugs into input 2. Everything comes out of output 1 because it goes to my EV-PXM speaker here in the room, but you could use it with headphones, you could use it with studio monitors, however you wanted to. Having them both come out of the same output just makes life a lot easier, though, because then you can do whatever you want with that one signal. So input 1. All right, what we have here is the simplest signal path ever. This is not really set up for gigs or anything like that. One thing I did add to this is a pitch block with capo. You teach a lot of stuff that's tuned down a half step or whatever you want to do. Unfortunately, you can only have one pitch block, it looks like, on the FM9. So I can't tune us both down a half step, but does kind of make things easier. I could always just have it on the students one. I could swap it back and forth, whatever we want to do. The amps in here, the first block is just a clean Jam 45. The second block is a bass one, like an Ampeg bass. The third block is the Brit 800 from Moderate Dirty, and then Brit Silver. And I literally just picked these because they're just ones that I use in my live presets. Obviously anything can go in there. And then cabinets pretty much are all the Leontot LT Mix 7 for guitar, and then for bass, for bass I've got this one, which I need to copy over, and it's the 1x15 SV bass and the 4x10. Mixture seems to sound good. I put very little time into actually making these things sound good. I literally just did it so I could teach some lessons this week, and it worked out really good. And honestly, it doesn't really need to sound that awesome. I mean, it does sound pretty cool, but you know what I'm saying. And then I've just got some plate reverb for the guitar sounds. Okay, so the first preset, everybody's playing. That's both inputs 1 and 2. The second one, everybody's got a little bit of overdrive. The third one is more, whoops, let's turn off that pitch here. Just a little heavier sound. The fourth preset here is for bass. You heard a little bit of the bass. I'll probably drop that a little bit in already. And I'm just using the SV Bass 2 and this speaker cabinet combination, which I need to actually copy and paste over here so that they're the same. Ta-da. And then I've got a couple combination ones. Clean guitar with bass. I need to turn that pitch block off. This is driving me nuts. So we've got clean with guitar if I'm playing with a bass student or jamming with a student. Got a little bit of dirty on one input and the basses are just the stock bass sound. And then the heavier sound with that. So it's really, literally, it's just for teaching, but you can take this and use this as a template. You put your own sounds in it if you want to have just a kind of a headphone or a quiet jamming situation with a friend. If you're a guitar teacher who does kind of what I do, it's super handy. Then they always have access to the tuner on the FM9, which makes life a lot easier too, because you're both using the same tuner, and you have control over the volume in the room. The other thing also is sometimes you can't see it. There's a drum set and a bass amp and some other stuff here. I do rehearsals, and this would be a quick way to do demos. If I wanted to, I could basically have both guitar and bass going through here, switch input number 2 to going to output number 2, and output number 2 could just be the bass player, and we could like track live in here very easily. So it's kind of cool. I'm actually pretty happy about this. Like I said, short video. I just found a useful tool. I wanted to share it. You guys can kind of take this and do what you want with it. But like I said, it's good for guitar teachers. It's good for people that just want to jam with friends. Also, it's good in emergencies if you're on a gig and somebody's amp croaks. You know, who knows? Hey, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends. If you look below, there's going to be links to this preset, other presets in the Exchange, and on my website, I've got a couple of things. Everything's free. You know, check out if you want t-shirts, mugs, any of the happy stuff, help support the channel. It's all in the links below the video. Thanks a lot.